folks, I'm so sorry we haven't made a video for such a long time, but as you can see, we're both fine. She's fine, thank goodness. We have had quite a few issues, and I did do a rambling video yesterday, but I'm redoing it now and I'm trying to make it into smaller little videos to try and make it a little bit clearer. Now, we were going to France, southwest France near Bordeaux, and we go there very, very often because it's very good for our health. The climate is very good and it's absolutely beautiful, surrounded by vineyards. We go to the same place every time. So we knew that there were going to be issues because we were taking her, because in the past we haven't had a dog. But I don't think that we really could foresee the big problems that we were going to have with her. Now, she is a very, as you know, you can see, she's a very, very well-balanced, mentally calm dog. She's absolutely super. She travels fantastically. I muzzle trained her, so because they've got to wear muzzles on the ferry, so there was never going to be a problem, so I thought. However, there was. But in this video, I'm just going to try and go through some of the paperwork. Oh, she just pulled his ear off. She never pulls anything off. You never damage anything. This is Wonky Donkey. She loves Wonky Donkey. Don't pull his ears off. Right. Okay, let's get back to the paperwork. When you are taking your dog to France, and I'm only talking about France now, because I've never taken her anywhere else, is that the first thing you've got to consider is the cost, the extra cost of taking a dog to France. Now, the first thing you've got to obviously to get is a rabies jab, and she had hers, and I can't really remember how much it was, but there was no problem with it. She didn't have any kind of reaction, and she was fine. And you have to have that well in advance before you go. Then you have to arrange for your animal health certificate, and it's got to be done by an authorised vet. Not every vet can do it. So, and you've got to give them plenty of time to prepare the documents, and it's not cheap. Now, I'm going to show you the document here. Obviously, I can't show it to you in total because it's got all my private details in it. But I'm just going to show you what it entails. And it's got to be absolutely accurate. It's got to be completely filled in. Make sure you check everything before you leave. Our vet was brilliant, and he gave me his mobile number in case there was a problem, but there wasn't. It's got to be stamped with the vet's official stamp. It's got to be signed and it's got to be dated. And this cost 180, I think it was £187. And I was quite shocked at the price of it, but he has to check her microchip, make sure everything is absolutely correct. If you look, he has to stamp every paragraph along here. Do you see? This is all stamped. So it's not just a case of signing a form and giving it out to you. He's got to make sure that it's absolutely accurate. The other thing that you've got to make sure is that all of your details on here correspond with your passport, which was a bit of a problem for me because some of my documents were in my maiden name because I got married 4 years ago and I didn't bother changing them. So I had to change everything over to make sure it was all in my married name and that corresponded with my passport. Because I've been with these vets for years, and so they had all of my maiden name details on my file, so that all had to be changed. The vet explained to me that you only need this document, which he was absolutely right. They didn't look at anything else, but I took everything with me. And I have got everything in this file here. And it's one of these files that's got these plastic folder things like here, and everything goes in it. So right at the beginning, I put this, her animal health certificate. And then from then on, I put her, she's with Petland, so her insurance documents, her kennel club documents, her vaccination card with all of this on it. But he was right, they didn't look at any of it. They only wanted to see this. But I took everything just in case. And everything I made sure was in my married name that corresponded with my passport. We went with Brittany ferries, and I didn't want to go on the usual ferry that we normally go on because it's not dog friendly and you'd have to leave her in the car or in the van for the whole journey and not go and visit her or anything. I do think they've got kennels, but I wouldn't have left her in the kennels either. So we changed to a different ferry, and we changed to a different ferry, and it's a dog-friendly one, and she came into the cabin with us. You have to book it, a dog-friendly cabin, and they have got a dog exercise area. They have to wear a muzzle when they get out of the vehicle, so you must make sure that you muzzle train them first, and I've got a video of how I did it with her, and she was absolutely brilliant. When you take them onto the dog exercise area, none of the dogs had muzzles on, so I took hers off. And there was like loads of little dogs, and some of them were quite rumpy, and she didn't take any notice. She just wanted to play with them all. She's totally non-reactive to other dogs, and she's very gentle and sweet, and she was crawling on her belly trying to say hello. And everyone was laughing actually, because she was like 10 times their size, and she just wanted to play with them all. She's only just over a year old when we were travelling over to France. So what you've got to also bear in mind is if you're on your own and you're travelling, then you can't take the dog to any other parts of the ferry. So you can't go and get a coffee or something to eat unless you're prepared to leave them in the cabin on their own, and I wasn't. So that is another thing that you need to consider, to make sure that you've got food or drink with you. So we were supposed to be going for 3 months, but we had major problems with her and with me, and we decided it was, we had no option but to bring her home early. So lucky enough, we were in 2 vehicles. Now, I was in my van, which is all kitted out for her, and my husband stayed there for another 2 months because we had business that we needed to sort out, legal business we needed to sort out in France. And so, which was a godsend really, because it meant I could bring her back in my van, and my old diesel transit, I haven't had it for very long, so it's a bit stressful because it's an 8 or 10 hour drive depending on how often you stop. And I was on my own and with her, and but she's very comfortable in it because the area behind the seats is her area, and it's got a screen, and I'll show it to you. I'll do a little video showing you her set up in the back of the van. So what it meant was that I could slide back the side door and reach in and scan her for the customs. They give you a scanner and you scan them, the microchip shows up, and you take it back to the kiosk and they check that with your paperwork. But of course, the first time it wouldn't work, and my heart was nearly, it nearly stopped because I'm looking at it and it wasn't coming up. But the scanner had turned itself off, so bear that in mind as well. You know you need to press the front of it to return it on again. I'm thinking, oh my God, it's not coming up with a microchip number. But I knew it was all right because the vet had already checked it when he did her paperwork. So, you have to have your animal certificate, health certificate, issued by the authorised vet within a 10-day period before you leave. You can't have it done months beforehand and keep it. And because we were going for 3 months, it was only going to be to do us for the once. Now, you know, a lot of money, £187, it was a lot of money. And then once you come back, within the 5-day period before you are leaving France, you have to go to another authorised vet. And it's kind of, you know, you've got to Google it and search to find your vets that can do it. And make an appointment to go and see them, and they give the dog a tapeworm tablet, and they fill in the document, their part of the animal health certificate, which is on it's on the back of page 2, and they gave us a printed receipt, and with the vet's name, his stamp, the date, and he signed it, and we paid by credit card. Brilliant. No, it wasn't. When I drove back to the ferry, as I was getting on the ferry, they wouldn't let me on because he hadn't put the time that he gave me the tablet, or gave her the tablet. He didn't put the time. He put the date, the stamp, the vet's details, the stamp, everything is all official. The official stamp, everything was perfect, but not the time. I couldn't believe it. What, they weren't going to let me on the ferry because you haven't got the time of it on? And then I said, no, I have the receipt, the printed receipt with the vet's details all on the top here. No, because he had that stamped, but it didn't have the time on it either. Lucky enough, I had the credit card slip, which had the time on it. And it was €70. A lot of money just for a tapeworm tablet. And that had the time on it. Yeah, that's okay. No, it wasn't. They wanted to see the credit card that corresponded with this. My husband paid on his credit card, just happened to pay on his credit card, and that was an 8-hour drive away. But I think they felt so sorry because I was like in tears. I think I was going to collapse because I think it was so stressful. And they finally let me on. So bear all that in mind when you're going to France. Make sure all your documents correspond with your passport, all the names are correct, every detail is absolutely minutely inspected by you and is correct. And I will see you in the next video, and I will explain why I had to bring her home early. Anyway, subscribe, click that bell. Do me a favour, click that bell, subscribe, pass it around in case people, I don't know, can people help? I don't know, why don't I have more subscribers? What am I doing wrong? Anyone out there tell me what I'm doing wrong? Anyway, I'll speak to you soon. Bye.